Ace Attorney Investigations 2. A Turnabout Forsaken. This is the final part of this one. See how this turns out. Silence in the courtroom, please. The courtroom? I guess it would be kind of, in a way. Miss Von Karma, if you would please be, you'd be so kind as to update us on the progress of the search. It's not good news, I'm afraid. The entire big building has been searched from top to bottom. No auctioneer's hammer was found anywhere. That is bad news indeed. Then we have no choice but to move ahead with the verdict. Ah, such a terrible shame. But I suppose only a fool would have left the murder weapon behind. It's certainly not what I'd expect from a first-rate criminal mind. No, there's just not enough to work with here. I can't carry us any further on my own. Yes, it really is a tragedy, but such is life, I suppose. I was just thinking back over the defendants I've made deals with over the years. People who poured their hearts out to me, who trusted me with every detail of their crimes. Then, when it came to their sentencing, I recommended life in prison every time. For every single one. Oh, if only you could see them. Stupid, dumbfounded looks on their faces. The hell? The verdict will now be passed. All present will accept the goddess's word as law. Nothing more I can do. Kay and I are both... Only we had some proof. I never imagined I would be passing judgment on you under such circumstances. End of the road, huh? By the power vested in me, Excelsius winner, this court hereby indicts you for your crimes. What? Work, bitch. Huh? What on earth's gotten into you, Verity? I submit for the court's consideration the case file of a certain incident. Namely, the IS-7 incident, a murder that took place 18 years ago. But what does that file have to do with... Wait, you mean... Your late-night visit to this chamber, that was to... Precisely. I came here to retrieve those documents. Though, sadly, it would have seemed that I arrived too early to catch the auction itself. When we spoke of the matter before, I implied that I had come to retrieve files pertaining to your own case. You'll have to forgive me. That was a ruse to buy myself more time. What the heck are you doing, Gavale? You can't just accuse my dad. Without proper grounds, it's defamation. Excellent observation, Eustace. It is? Of course, I have the grounds to make such an accusation. 18 years ago, Mr. Manfred Von Karma had some details about the victim's body fabricated. Details he was forced to fabricate when the sculptor Artie Frost's body went missing. My papa? My papa? Fabricating information? What is the meaning of this? She still doesn't know? Ian Seidman, the detective originally assigned to the case, did in fact report that the body had gone missing. However, it seems that a certain someone wasn't very pleased with Von Karma and deliberately withheld information. Oh, and deliberately withheld that information in order to bring him down a few pegs. What? This individual refuses to allow anyone to go against their wishes or to challenge their power, and they're known to go to extreme lengths in order to bring those who defy him to heel. 18 years ago, they were no different. In fact, they even ordered Dr. Hertz to create a fake autopsy report for the IS-7 incident. What? she was responsible for the fake report? But wait, you have to understand, Grandma, she's not a bad person. She had to do what he said. She didn't have any choice. He, the person in question, was the chief prosecutor at the time. Chief prosecutor 18 years ago? No. The man who gave Papa his first penalty of his career. Excelsius winner. It was you.
Objection!
What are you all talking about? My dad would never do something like that. Wanna bet? I'm sorry, Eustace, but your opinion on the matter is not needed here. Well, Chairman Winner, do you have anything to say for yourself? All that nonsense with the body. That was Manfred's doing. Such a willful boy. And that fake autopsy report? Hilda, how could you? I can't believe you naughty kids would do such dishonest things behind my back. We could just ask her why she did it. She is standing right over there after all. But wait, Grandma can't. She's ouch. Grandma, I'm sorry. You knew. That's why I... Right, exactly. If I didn't, everyone would have found out about what you did. They said he was going to charge you if I didn't help them with their plan. He said I just had to do what the auctioneer said. So you were coerced into it, were you, Nurse Needler? And just to be clear, the auctioneer was Chairman Winner. I'm sorry, but I honestly don't know. The person forcing me to help them was the auctioneer. They definitely looked to be about the same build as the chairman, but I never saw their face. Well, there must be something. Any detail, no matter how small, will do. Oh, wait. Their mask didn't cover their whole face. The part that wasn't covered had a tattoo on it. I remember that much for sure. Tattoo.
Objection!
This all sounds very dramatic, but I really don't know what you're talking about. There's no tattoo anywhere on my face. I think I'd know if there was one, wouldn't you? Which means I can't be the ringleader, no matter how much you might want me to be. I only hope you can figure out who this shameless manipulator might be.
Overruled!
Your contempt for this courtroom is an insult to the goddess. Are you sure it's not you feeling insulted here? I am not the only one who has been trying to bring you to justice. Miss Ringer had been trying to, too. And I refuse to let her sacrifice be in vain. Young Rosie was looking to take me down, you say. But why? I barely knew her. I've always had a certain magnetic charm, but I don't remember ever catching that particular eye. You barely knew the victim? Why, I do believe that is a new statement. The goddess demands that you offer your full testimony on the record. So that's how this is going to go, huh? You mean to hound me until I finally break? Well, if that's the way you want to play it, fine. I'll destroy you all. Every last one of you. Mr. Edgeworth, please allow me to work with you on this one. I doubt we'll get another chance to put him on the stand. So let's make the most of this opportunity. Of course, Your Honor. I wouldn't have it any other way. Work, Gavale. I approve. I still don't like you. You're annoying as shit, but you're on my side now, so. Now, Chairman Winner, you will tell this court everything you know about Miss Ringer. Young Rosie was a member of the committee, of course. But we never really had any personal interaction. At least none that I remember. I had no motive to murder that poor girl whatsoever. and I have absolutely no idea why she was after me. So, you don't mean to accept your part in any of this? Of course he doesn't. He isn't guilty. How could he? How could he be? He's my dad, the winner of winners. It's very kind of you, Eustace, but you'll need more than mere words if you plan to cover for me. Right, you got it. I won't let them pin this on you. You'll beat Edgeworth, I know you will. Yes, you really are such a sweet, simple child. He really loves his dad, huh? That's no excuse for him to ignore his father's crimes. No matter how much he respects him. That's fresh coming from him. Regardless of their situation, of their station in life, all criminals will be made to atone for their sins in time. The winner. It has to be done. We can't let this father get away with this. Can't let his father get away with this.
Hold it!
So you're saying you barely knew the victim at all? That's exactly what I'm saying, my boy. Yes. Why, I never even knew about that burn mark on her hand. You didn't? I mean, what's the point? You get to know someone, but before you know it, they're gone. It's become such a pain to remember things about others. They're here one day and gone the next. Yes, because they dare stand up to you and you make them disappear. If you could please add your remark about the victim's burn to your testimony, Chairman Winner.
Hold it!
You sure you didn't know about the burn mark? You really don't let up, do you? I'm not in the habit of memorizing who has a scar on their hand and who doesn't. If this wasn't just any old scar, I'd say it's pretty noticeable, in fact. Perhaps under normal circumstances. But now that I think about it, Miss Ringer did always wear gloves. Truth be told, I wasn't aware of the burn mark until after the incident myself. The victim's hands were always covered by a pair of gloves. It makes sense, of course. People can be very self-conscious about such things. I can only sympathize, being something of a sensitive soul myself. I hope you're not too sensitive to append that statement to your testimony. Although I suppose she was always wearing gloves, perhaps it was to hide the burn.
Objection!
So Miss Ringer always wore gloves? If she did, that raises a rather important question. And highlights quite a contradiction. A contradiction, you say? Really? If we listen again to the conversation that was captured by this stuffed cow, you'll soon see what I mean. And I knew it was you. When I laid eyes on you, you can't hide that burn from me. Nothing to say for yourself? I've waited so long for this day, and now I finally have my revenge. We can be reasonably certain that what we just heard is the moment the victim was attacked. I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. We assume that those were the words of the killer. And where's the problem in that? Seems like a perfectly sensible assumption to me. I'm afraid not, Chairman Winner. For you see, if the victim was always wearing gloves, as you just testified, then the burn mark on her hand should not have been visible to her killer.
Objection!
You speak as if gloves can't be easily removed. She could have taken them off during the auction. But she hadn't. She was still wearing them when I changed places with her. They must have been on her hands when she was being murdered, too. What are you saying, my dear? You do know how much trouble you're in, don't you? I'm not scared of you anymore. I have Grandma on my side now. Now it's time for you to pay the piper, winner, you dang devil. I see. So you're both looking to disappear, too. That can be arranged. Not this time, Excelsius winner. The only person disappearing will be
Objection!
you. Hey, you can't talk to my dad like that. Who cares if the burn was covered up? Why does that even matter? Shut up, Eustace. Oh, it matters. Because it turns our understanding of the burn mark on its head. What do you mean? What can the fact that the victim's burn mark was covered up possibly tell us? Think about it like this, Mr. Benner. The victim was wearing gloves. Therefore, the burn mark on her hand would not have been visible. In which case, whose burn mark was it that was being referenced in the recording? Somebody who wasn't the victim? Precisely. This can only mean that the culprit had a prominent burn mark, too. Or to put it another way, I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn mark. Those were the words. Those words were spoken by not by the murderer, but by the victim. No way!
Objection!
My boy, would you mind stepping aside for a sec? Look, Miles, it's nice to see you having fun with your little flights of fancy, but let's get serious. The murderer had a burn mark now? Really? Where? Your little theory will either take flight or die, depending on your answer here, I'm afraid. Not messing around. I have to figure out where that burn mark was and fast. I wonder where it could have been. All of the auction people were wearing disguises, right? Yes, and each disguise was different. Yet, in spite of that, the burn mark was... Well, shall we? Enlighten us, why don't you? Where was the murderer's burn mark? I assume you have some evidence?
Take that!
Here's my evidence. The outfit the ringleader was wearing throughout the auction. Or rather, the outfit you were wearing, Chairman Winner. Oh. And what exactly is that supposed to tell us?
Objection!
A suit, white gloves, and a mask. That disguise should have covered almost all of your skin. But according to Nurse Needler's testimony, the auctioneer's mask didn't quite cover your entire face. Not only that, she claims to have seen a tattoo on the part that was exposed. But was it a tattoo? Or did she simply make a mistake of burn mark for one? Burn mark? On the face?
Objection!
Sorry to interrupt while you're so clearly enjoying yourself, dear boy. But I regret to inform you that none of the committee members has such a burn. Myself included, of course. But Dad, I mean... Eustace, do you think you can be quiet, please? You can be foolish on your own time later. Well, you may be an annoyance most of the time, Mr. Winner. But on this particular occasion, I'm grateful for your presence. A reaction like that from you, his son, is as good an indicator of the truth as I could have hoped for. And it makes me it gives me a much needed confidence boost concerning another theory of mine, namely, who that one unexplained item belongs to. What's the matter with Mr. Winner? I think he might be in shock. After all, he's usually the last to figure things out. But in this case, he seems to have gotten there all too quickly. He knows that his father is indeed the real murderer. He's sad because he knows the truth. So it's better not to know the truth at all? No, Kay. It's what we came here for. It doesn't matter how we get there. The important thing is finding the truth. You yourself told me that once. Right when I needed to hear it the most. And now it's time for me to repay the favor and show you the truth of your innocence. I want to know, too, the truth of what really happened. So please, Mr. Edgeworth, won't you show me? Very much intend to. Oh, you don't know when to give up, do you? Where is this burn, then? Perhaps you could point it out to me? But you can't, can you? Because it's nowhere to be found, just like your evidence that I'm the killer. Yeah, hunt for contradictions all you like. You won't find any. Because he's my dad, a winner through and through.
Objection!
I understand, Mr. Winner. I completely understand why you don't want to believe it's true. But if you ignore the truth now, you'll regret it for as long as you live. Dad, what do I do? Don't understand it. How could I have raised such an utter buffoon? You really wish to help your father, Eustace. You can try thinking on your own for once in your life, you useless nitwit. But I try all the time, Dad. All I do is try. I went to the school you wanted me to go to. I aced every test. Look at my jacket. They only give these to the valedictorian. I did everything you told me to. I worked like crazy and graduated top of my class. I tried to be just like you and win as many trophies as I could.
Objection!
Top of his class? What shit? You really are just a simpering simpleton, aren't you? Oh, I feel bad for him now. Don't make me feel bad for this little boy, because he's annoying. Those tests you ace? I had the school give you perfect scores on all of them. Those debate and speech competitions you won, the judges were all friends of mine. If you never even realized that much, there's no hope for you, I'm afraid. None at all. I feel so bad for this kid now. You're no son of mine. Even you must see that. Gone, my own son. They all leave in the end. Yeah, 'cause you're a fuck. Oh, I mean, boo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Even when he was trying, he was failing. He did it all for me, and he should have tried harder. You're a disgrace. You don't deserve to be a father, and you certainly don't deserve to be chairman of this committee. Even if I feel sorry for the boy, even I feel sorry for the boy. Poor Mr. Winner. Explain yourself, Chairman Winner. Just what do you think your son is to treat him in such a way? Utterly useless pawn, sounds about right. You're one to talk, Verity. You tried to worm your way into my trust by using Eustace too. I cannot deny it. However, I have never thought of him as a mere pawn. He may not be a naturally gifted prosecutor, but he tries. In some ways, he tries harder than anybody. That's what I have witnessed during my time with him. If you call him useless, how could you?
Objection!
Oh, because he is Verity, my girl. He is utterly incapable of doing anything I ask of him. Mr. Edgeworth, I entrust my offering to the goddess to you. That you may use it to call her final judgment on Excelsius Winner. Thank you, Your Honor. I've been more than ready to do so. The ringleader has a little burn on her face that night. Then it would follow that Chairman Winner is currently hiding that mark somehow. How exactly was he dressed during the auction? That will be the key to solving this case at last. Now then, your answer, please. Which piece of evidence will help us to reveal the burn mark on the culprit's face?
Take that!
Recall Nurse Needler's testimony, if you will. There was one thing we never quite resolved. The second wig. The one that wasn't used. I seem to remember it being... maybe? What are you two talking about? Nurse Needler apparently found some very interesting items when she went to swap places with the victim. And? What do they have to do with the burn mark? What she found were two wigs. One was intended to make her look more like the victim. But what was the other one for? I don't suppose it was meant to be a spare. It doesn't take a huge leap of imagination to see the truth. Compare Chairman Winter's current appearance to that of the ringleader as it was described to us. Stop it! Stop staring at me. One very prominent difference presents itself. Its face, or rather, what's around it. You mean... it wasn't a wig after all? Indeed, not a wig intended to go on the top of the head in any case. It was a fake beard all along, wasn't it, Excelsius Winter? This? Why, this is all my own, dear boy. Oh, very unkind of you to suggest otherwise.
Objection!
You saw how your son reacted when he realized the truth. Now he's desperately trying to cover for you, even in light of his realization. And yet, you still feared that he might expose you. So rather than take that risk, you bullied him until he couldn't take it anymore. Because he knew that your beard hides a prominent burn mark. Chairman Winter, I insist you remove your beard this instant. Shaped like a skull? There it is! The burn mark! Mr. Edgeworth, for bringing evil to justice before the eyes of the goddess, you have my thanks. No, thank you. I couldn't have done it without you. Excelsius Winter, in the name of the goddess, I hereby pronounce my verdict. In the matter of the murder of Miss Rosie Ringer, this court finds you guilty. That's it? This was supposed to be like another half hour, I thought. A lot of exposition. Mr. Edgeworth, I can't thank you enough. You never gave up on me, even when I gave up on myself. That was very kind of you. There's no need to thank me. As a prosecutor? No, as a friend. It was the least I could do. Mr. Edgeworth, rejoice. I've learned that Chairman Winter has been safely delivered to the detention center. The search for the missing auction hammer continues. However, we are talking about Chairman Winter here, so it's highly likely that it has already been destroyed. In addition, there is one other matter I must inform you of. Chairman made a rather strange statement. According to him, the letters were not part of his plan. What? How could that be? He claims that he and Miss Needler found this letter on Miss Ringer's person. And that they then found a second letter on Kay's unconscious body. In their contents, the letters seemed ones of correspondence. So he leapt to the conclusion that they must have been working with each other. Quite the conclusion to jump to. As he read the letters, that's when he came up with the idea to frame Miss Faraday for Miss Ringer's murder. He decided to place the victims in a very conspicuous place. Namely, in her left chest pocket. Sounds to me like he's trying to make excuses for himself. Yes, I certainly thought the same. Perhaps hoped it was some sort of last-ditch ploy on his part. But it matters not. He will answer to the goddess now, and under her scrutiny, such strategies cannot hope to succeed. He will not escape justice. And with that, one of the duties with which I have been entrusted with is complete at last. Turnabout. Before you go, can you tell us what you know about how Chairman Winter came to murder Miss Ringer? There's more there, isn't there? Yes, and I suppose you've earned the right to know the whole truth. Miss Ringer once had a lover, a press photographer. He was investigating the underground auctions as a freelance journalist. But before he could uncover the truth behind the auction, he was disappeared. Well, he had disappeared, I would say, given what that text should have read. All Miss Ringer was left with were the memories and personal effects of her lover. So, seeking revenge on Chairman Winter, she made her appearance at the auction. Unfortunately for her, her opponent struck first. See, that's the story behind this case. While the goddess does not condone acts of wanton vengeance, Miss Ringer's actions have exposed Mr. Chairman Winter's crimes at last. That was your real goal. We're tasked with exposing Celsius Winter and the corruption at the heart of the committee. Anyone know what happened to Mr. Winter? I'm afraid I haven't been able to get in touch with him. Do you have any idea why? Probably because I wasn't there for him when he needed me the most. Oh, I really feel bad for him. Don't pity him too much. At least he knows the truth now. No matter how hard it might be, he'll need to learn to accept it. If he can't, he'll never be able to move on with his life. Trust me. Father's influence isn't easily erased. But in time, you can hopefully try and change his ways. You're right. Gotta be. Can I change too, I wonder? Can I move on with my life? Are you okay, Kay? How's that head feeling? I'm fine, thank you. I'm so sorry, Kay. You were my patient. I had a responsibility to you, and instead, I let them accuse you of ouch. Dang right, we ain't just in the business of fixing bodies, Missy. The mind's where it all begins. You're right, Grandma. Speaking of which, how's your memory? It's like, with a little more time, maybe I'll be able to remember some more? Please forgive me, but I had better be on my way. I am to preside over the trial of Fifi Lagarde in a bit. The Bronco Knight case, huh? Who's the defense attorney? It's supposed to be Miss Ringer, but as she is no longer with us, we are still in the process of finding her replacement. Miss Ringer was scheduled to represent Warden Lagarde? And of course, until we find Eustace, there is nobody to act for the prosecution either. In any case, I must take my leave. Wait, please. What about Mr. Edgeworth's badge? What's going to happen to it now? With its chairman under arrest, the committee's activities have been suspended for the time being. So, to answer your question, it's complicated. It's all up to the goddess now. But don't worry about it, Kay. It's a consequence of my own making. I assume you do not mean to change your mind? Of course not. I chose the path of the truth, and I chose it willingly. With Chairman Winter out of the picture, justice is in the hands of the righteous once more. If you do wish to follow the path of the prosecutor again, Mr. Edgeworth, I would be more than happy to facilitate such a decision. It's very kind of you to offer, but I can't accept your help at this time. I can't ask for my badge back when I'm not even sure if I want it anymore. See, we are destined to continue on different paths then. Well, I trust you'll keep my badge safe till they converge again. All I have. In the meantime, I'm here. I have here a token of the goddess's mercy. May return this notebook to its rightful owner. His promise notebook. Seems it was due to be sold in the auction, and with the name K written on its cover, Chairman Winter made the connection immediately and knew who it belonged to. It was the same name as the one in the letters, after all. Letters he claimed to know nothing about? I suppose he insisted he didn't prepare them? Yes, he also had something else to say. Apparently, he thought that Miss Faraday was after her notebook, and that Miss Ringer was after his life. And that their respective goals are what led them to cooperate and infiltrate the auction together. Fortunately for him, he misread the situation completely. It's all just happenstance. Kay had known a defense attorney, who was also a member of the committee. There's no way she wouldn't have told me. That just isn't like her. Your belief in her is touching. While the notebook did become part of Chairman Winter's cover-up scheme, it is also a treasured possession of Miss Faraday's, which is why I would like her to have it back, as I am sure would the goddess. Thank you. I pray that it helps her to recover her lost memories. Alright, she's on our side now, I guess. I still don't think I like her, though. She is. Is everything alright? Judge Gavale wanted me to return something important to you. Ah, isn't that? Always greet people with a smile, even people you don't know. Never cry in front of strangers. Daddy, I wrote them all down, Daddy. Yeah, I'm gonna keep all my promises and be a real hero when I grow up, just like you. Oh wait, I forgot to write one down. The most important promise of all. Promise number 5. Always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. I remembered it, just how you said it. Now I'll never forget it. Always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. That's right. I have to try. I'm Kay Faraday, the great thief who will do anything to get hands on the truth. Seki Takarasu, the assistant to Mr. Edgeworth. Hey, is that really you? Can't say I'm not a little bit embarrassed, but yeah, I'm back. I couldn't have done it without you, Mr. Edgeworth. You never stopped helping me, even when I was totally lost. Couldn't remember anything. Thank goodness, you certainly seem to be back. Hey, so this is the real you, huh? Welcome back. It's so good to know you're better. I can sleep easy now. Now that you found it, don't you dare go losing that memory of yours again, young lady. You hear? Miss Needler, Dr. Hertz. Thanks a lot for looking after me. And if you really are better, how about you get out of the dang hospital beds? Oh yeah, I washed all your clothes for you. Here. I thought they were with Detective Gumshoe. He handed them over to us after they came back from forensics. Did he happen to mention if forensics found anything of note? I didn't ask. Anyway, never mind that now. Put them on, Kay. I want to see. Wait, what about her bandages? Surely it's too soon to remove them. Oh, it's probably fine. She may have taken a big old bump to the head, but she wasn't really hurt otherwise. But then why all the bandages in the first place? Prevention is better than cure. A stitch in time saves 9. Those are just a few of my mottos, both of which sound like painfully annoying practices for your patient. Okay, Kay. Transformation time. Oh, I want them to do a magical girl transformation so bad right there. Yeah. Now this is what I'm talking about. Fits like a stolen glove. That smile suits you better, too. As it always did. Thanks to you too, Miss Von Karma. I'm so glad you showed up when you did. Oh, these two should work together. That's one of your three, Kay. And Emma. Oh, shit. Kay, Franziska, and Emma in like a little trio doing whatever the fuck they're gonna do. That would be so good. Oh my god, I would play the hell out of that game. Wait, hold on. Yeah, 17, 18, and 18. Yeah, they're all about the same age. Thanks to you too, Miss Von Karma. I'm glad you showed up when you did. I simply came when Scruffy asked me to. I'm sure he'll be very happy to see that you're back to your old self too. Speaking of Gummy, where is he? Who knows? Perhaps the well of his devotion ran dry when a certain someone threw away his badge. Detective Gumshoe. Anyway, I have to be going, and I'll be taking those two with me. Wait, what's gonna happen to them? Acting as an accomplice in a murder and forging an autopsy report 18 years ago. Their crimes can't be allowed to go unpunished. But the fact that Excelsius Winter coerced them into cooperating will of course be taken into account. Don't you worry about us, Kay. As long as Grandma and me are together, we'll be alright. Take care, Kay Faraday, until we meet again. Seriously, they need to put the three of them together. I don't even know what that would be, though. Okay. I know you only just got your memory back, but I need to ask you some questions. Sure, ask away. What happened the day you lost your memory? What were you doing? Let's see. Somebody asked me to meet them at Gord Lake, but I didn't know who it was. So there I was, just looking up at the moon when somebody in a red raincoat started walking toward me. He must have drugged me somehow, because that's when I fell unconscious. What? I'm not sure I followed. Okay, was at Gord Lake looking up at the moon. Anyway, when I came to, I was on the roof of this building. I was in a daze and stumbling around up there when I saw the person in the red raincoat again, but they were lying on the ground. I was so surprised, I stumbled backward. And then I was falling, and everything went dark. When I came to the second time, I couldn't remember anything. The person in the red raincoat, who in the world were they? I'm sure they were walking in midair. Ugh! Thinking about it's making my head hurt. Just breathe, Kay. You only just got your memory back. You're still confused. I imagine the root cause of your confusion is... I imagine things are all mixed up in your mind because you were at Gord Lake one minute and then at the top of the big building the next. Because you saw the moon in both locations, your mind blended the memories of the two together. Huh? Those are two totally different places. I know I was pretty out of it, but I don't think I could have gotten them confused that easily. I believe these things on the roof have made you more likely to become one.
Take that!
There are two key similarities between the scene down by Gord Lake and here on top of the big building. Cherry blossoms and food stands. Wait, you're right. Those similarities are what caused your memories of both places to overlap. This person in the red raincoat wasn't walking in midair. They were walking toward you from across the park. But in your blurry memories, that same sight played out over the viewing platform instead. No way. Who steals a great thief's memories, huh? That's just cheating. Even still, this doesn't answer the question of who attacked Kay in the park. Was it the person in the red raincoat she saw? Beep, beep, beep. Do you hear that? It sounds like it's coming from up in the storeroom. Come on, let's go take a look. Well, Howie, I saw another scoop in the office. You're still here. That's what I'm saying. First floor. It's coming from this little gadget here, Mr. Edgeworth. Just trying to see where. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before. It's still going. But I'm not good with technology. Come on, you have to pick up. Fine, I'll do it. Hey, this is Edgeworth. Okay. You did refrain from answering a strange call from me. Mr. Edgeworth, I presume? I know the voice. Shelley the Killer. Congratulations on another case solved. Yet I can't truly say it's been fully resolved, can you? I'm sure you've noticed by now that there was a mastermind at work orchestrating the entire incident. How do you even know about this case? That's not what's important right now. Let's focus on this certain individual for the time being, shall we? I have indeed been wondering myself if somebody else could have been involved. If not, how are we to explain the piece of evidence that proved so damning to Kay's case? No way. An evil mastermind? But who? Who indeed? Perhaps you could share your thoughts? What is the evidence in question that points to somebody else's involvement?
Take that!
The letter Kay supposedly wrote to the victim? Yeah, I don't remember ever writing that. So who did? Who would prepare such a thing? I know I'm not the only one that would like to know. How do we know it wasn't you? No, why would I do a thing like that? I believe the truth can fully come to light in a court of law. But since you've had your badge revoked, that is no longer an option. So how will it all end? I, for one, will be watching from the sidelines with interest. Even knows about badge. Oh, and one last thing. I do hope you won't betray my trust in you. Now, I bid you farewell. What the heck did he mean by the case hasn't been fully resolved? Why is he so interested in us anyway? Ugh, everything's just one giant ball of mysteries. We've only scratched the surface of this case. But even without my badge, I'm going to carry on doing what I can. However this ends, one thing's for certain. Come what may, I will expose the truth. The end. That was a Turnabout Forsaken. There's only one more case left in this game. It's gonna be all over. Kinda sad about it. Oh, Turnabout for the Ages. That'll be fun. Now, this one here is an absolute freaking doozy. It's going to take me a while to get through it. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to work a little bit on it later today, and then we'll see if I get to tomorrow. If not, then I will see you next week. Also next week on YouTube. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. We're going to call that here. I'm going to go eat lunch. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Have a great day.